Hello students, so as promised, I am CA Pragnesh Kanabar and I am giving you the CA final audit paper analysis of May 23 with detailed suggested answer and everything so that you can satisfy your questioning mind. All right. Uh, my simple request, if you are currently giving May 23 exam, all right, then please focus on your exams. But I've received so much of, so many messages where students want me to give an analysis. That is why I'm giving an analysis. Usually I prefer to give it after the exam, but मैं अभी दे रहा हूँ just to satisfy the questioning mind. All right. So few quick statements for you to understand. Paper, yes, above average. मेरे स्टूडेंट्स का रिस्पॉन्स मुझे बहुत अच्छा मिला है. मिक्स्ड रिस्पॉन्स भी है, कुछ का अच्छा नहीं भी गए, ऑलराइट. बट जिन्होंने मेरी स्ट्रेटेजीज फॉलो की थी, और आप एकदम अच्छे से अगर एनालिसिस करो तो जो भी मैंने स्ट्रेटेजीज फॉलो की थी वो सब कुछ आया हुआ है. बट दिस वीडियो इज नॉट फॉर माय मार्केटिंग और समथिंग, नो नो. दिस इज जस्ट टू टेल यू कि क्या क्या पेपर क्वेश्चंस थे और उसके क्या क्या आंसर थे. ऑलराइट, सो क्विकली कमिंग टू द पॉइंट. 30 मार्क्स के एमसीक्यू, 70 मार्क्स के डिस्क्रिप्टिव. नाउ 30 मार्क्स एमसीक्यू, यस, अराउंड मैं अगर बच्चों से पूछूं तो 8 to 9 मार्क्स या 10 मार्क्स जितने एमसीक्यूज थोड़े उनको अबव एवरेज ट्रिकी लगे, खास करके बैंक ऑडिट के एमसीक्यूज. बट बिकॉज एमसीक्यूज हमारे पास आते नहीं है, सो वी आर नॉट इन अ पोजीशन टू एक्चुअली टेल यू ऑलराइट दैट व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर एंड हाउ यू कुड हैव सॉल्व्ड इट. ऑलराइट, I'll also keep the language of this video largely English so that everyone is able to understand. Okay, so broadly, these are the MCQs that I have gathered from various public communications that people said. All right, bank audit, corporate governance, 2-3 marks essays. Then we had Caro, we had professional ethics, 1 MCQ, we had peer review, we had due diligence. All right, but I think bank audit and corporate governance was the major part in the MCQ portion. All right, then moving to the descriptive part of the paper. All right. So we had standards and auditing of 24 marks. A little surprising was professional ethics ka weightage, and it was not all from those famous questions. So yes, there students were taken aback. So it was 9 marks. Company audit and Caro had a good weightage of around 10 marks in the descriptive, also in the MCQ. So around it had an impact of around 10 to 14 marks. All right. Then tax audit, yes, 8 marks. Liabilities of auditor, NBFC, insurance, peer review, quality review, management audit, automated environment, investigation, due diligence. Broadly, these were the questions that were asked. And again, peer review, quality review also getting 9 marks weightage, which was expected. All right. So now, let me break it down question by question for you. All right. Question 1A, 1B, 1C. So this is the table that I've made. These are the questions. All right. And these are the suggested answers where you can find it in my book. And also for Pan India students, I'm giving you where you can find in the ICI module. All right. Many people are saying that standards auditing question. All right. So these questions were from auditing pronouncements. Oh, we were not aware about it. And oh my God, these were difficult questions. All right. But let me tell you, all of these questions were covered straight away in my content and question bank book. And I've also given the references for all essay questions. And not only just covered, in fact, these questions were also marked as important by me. All right. But let us talk about the students who don't prepare, or who may not have prepared because of various reasons. Sometimes they go through lots of problems. So that's, I can understand. But in that case, at least the module question answers. Even if you have done that, all right, then there were a couple of module questions of essays which were straight away copy pasted, all right, into the paper, all right. So even there you could have reduced your risk, all right. So yes, question 1A, essay 570, going concern assumption inappropriate. What will be the impact on the opinion? I'm not discussing the concepts in great detail over here, but I've given the module page number references over here, and these are my references. So for you to get the suggested answer. But yes, if going concern assumption is inappropriate, then there will be an impact on the opinion and how you're supposed to report and stuff. It's a lengthy thing to be discussed. Then one point was on essay 620. All right. Using the work of auditors expert. In that, if you are not satisfied with the work of expert and whether you can write the reference of that expert in the audit report, we very well do it. Even in my revision fast track lectures also it is covered. All right. So these were the references, and this is the ICI module reference where you're going to get it. A basic concept being that if you want to write the reference to the expert's work in your audit report, then in that case, if it is required by law, you have to mandatorily write it. If it is not required by law, you can write it only if you're giving a modified opinion. And for that also, you will need the consent of that expert. All right. Then we had essay 540, couple of questions, 2 questions from one essay is rarity, but it was asked. So essay 540 is always A category essay when it comes to CA final level. So there were a couple of questions. One was on what are the different changes in the circumstances which can lead to more inquiries of the management that आपने नए estimates किए हैं, revision in the existing estimates किया है. It was a copy paste point from the module and also a copy paste question from my question. All right. Okay. And even if students have written with some general knowledge, right? There are changes in business, changes in the terms of transaction, all right. Then also it is possible that 1 or 2 points here and there you can tally it. See, let me tell you, if your paper was not that great, let us understand from the whole question paper. If you are able to answer at least 5 questions, copy paste as required by the ICAI, then also you are in a very, very good position. All right. So around 25-30 marks also, if you are able to answer copy paste and the balance was not that great, you are still in a good position to score. Don't worry about it. All right. Keep your hopes high. Okay. Then essay 530, inter-CA level concept stratification, which I also teach at final CA level. So question number 1, copy paste of my question bank was there. And ICA module does not cover it very clearly. They have given inter-CA reference for the concept of stratification. All right. Then let me just finish essay question. So we had question 4A, estimates of the prior period. All right. You have to analyze the estimates of the prior period and the outcome of those estimates so that you can understand the changes in the trend. All right. And you can understand how the estimates are to be re-estimated in the current period. This is already a past examination question. It is question number 24 in my question bank of essay 540. And it is also question number 7 in the ICA module. In the ICA module, I've given the page number, content reference of the ICA also for Pan India students over here. Okay. Then when we move ahead, if you have any doubts that, okay, sir, what you are saying is not the answer, I have a different answer, all right, you can download the app and ask me in the chat box. I don't keep on seeing YouTube comments every day because I'm not a professor who is more on YouTube every time, all right. Although I have given my content, but I don't keep on advertising myself about on YouTube. So you can download my app and have a discussion. I will solve your query in the chat box, all right. Or you can post a comment. I will try to reply to it. Okay. Question number 2B. Question number 2B, Caro 2020 lecture. All right. Module question. I mean, module in my Caro 2020 lecture, I'd asked you to go through the module questions once. And in fact, I showed you the question also. And let me tell you, this was a copy paste from the module. So many students would have thought that this particular question, you can go through the question once. All right. This particular question, something, normally in this analysis video, I don't want to discuss too many questions over here. But yes, I would like to take this up. Question number 2B is all about, So, many students would have thought it is about ownership of property, plant and equipment and stuff, whether it is held in the name of the company or not. Fine. You can write that one reference. But the main point was that there is a non-cash transaction. Right? There's an exchange of assets. There's a non-cash transaction with the director of the company. And in that case, section 192 gets attracted. And also clause 15 that gets attracted. All right. And this was question number 2 in the ICI module, page number 5.8.7, 5.87. All right. From where you can, go through that particular answer. Then question number 2C, again, tax audit discussions got attracted. And one point was expected, that because of the amendment, Finance Amendment Act to 2021, it was expected that, this point they will ask someday. That was, there are lots of restriction now on claiming depreciation on goodwill. All right. So that is one point which they have questioned. I think the controversial areas I'm discussing, the questions which were straightforward, I'm not showing the question paper over there. So question 2C1 over here. Okay, so goodwill in the intangible assets, that effect of goodwill needs to be excluded, that particular adjustment. And then next was all about, if there is an exempt income which they are recognizing, then they cannot claim the expenses for that particular income. So that discussion was there. Now, let us say if you have explained the concept, all right, and if you haven't given the clause references in detail, that's okay. They may deduct your 1 or 2 marks, 1 mark maybe, all right, and they will give you the balance marks if your concept is correct, all right. So please cheer up if you have written correct answer over there. So that was one point. Then one thing was very much expected. If they ask a question from liabilities of auditor topic, it is always from the section oriented part, correct? So question number 3A was a clear-cut discussion of section 35 and section 34, all right, where we talk about liabilities of auditor, when specifically if there is a person who has given a consent for issuing the prospectus, if that prospectus is misleading, all right. So those discussions in that liabilities of auditor chapter, in that particular section, we do discuss it, all right. So that was the point over here. So section 35 and 34 will handle this particular point. All right. So Mr. A's contention over here is incorrect, even though he has not joined as a director, but he has given consent to it, and he has also given consent for issuing the prospectus. All right. And his name is printed in that as a proposed director. All right. So that is one point over there. And module reference also I have given. Okay. Question 3B, I have given my book reference, module reference, everything. All right. And I'm always proud on one point that whatever we discuss, normally, majorly the questions are from that part. Yes, I understand in May 23, there were some questions which were a little bit more analytical. All right. But nothing that we cannot breach. All right. We can easily breach these walls. So question number 3B, it was a straight away discussion from company audit because these are all case study based. So I would like to just show you over there. Question number 3B. Okay. What you should do is that you should download the paper from the description. I'm just uploading a link, and you should just go through the questions along with my video so that you're in a better position. Question number 3B. See, auditor is basically auditing a company, all right, and it is auditing a hotel, and auditor is also a regular customer of that hotel. Now, transacting as a regular customer is not a problem, but there is one problem that the payments, all right, that auditor is paying to the such hotels are settled against monthly bills. So there is some amount of indebtedness involved. If there is indebtedness involved, and if the amount is exceeding rupees 5 lakhs, in that case, you could be disqualified. So that one angle you have to write, all right. You cannot just say that this is a the auditor will not be disqualified at all and stuff. All right. So you have to explain 2 points. One is that this does not create business relationship because this is a normal transaction in the normal course of business as a customer. Auditor is being just treated as a customer. That is one point. And the second point that you are supposed to bring is the angle of indebtedness over here. All right. So that was the discussion. But yeah, open answer ho sakta hai iska jo final conclusion hai. Then when we move ahead on question 3C, yeah. Question 3C, this was a good question, right? From professional ethics. So basically, there's a dispute between the auditor and the company. Now the auditor replaces the company replaces the auditor. So company is removing the auditor over here. In that case, what auditor does is that all the points of the company, all right, some sensitive information of the company, it just submits it to ROC. All right. Now there is a confidentiality thing over here. That was obviously when there is a legal compulsion, you can disclose the details of the client, right, to the regulatory authority. But when there is no legal compulsion and you are just writing voluntarily to the regulatory authority, all right, that is not to be done. Okay. So yes, you can say that there is a discussion of clause 1, part 1, second schedule over here about client confidentiality. But apart from that, there were some ethical points of confidentiality to be written, which are given in the first 10 pages of the professional ethics intro notes, all right, which I normally tell students that, okay, this is one area where we also need to focus because professional ethics from ethical principles wala notes dekhte hi nahi hai. We are just so much involved in the clauses and schedules and stuff. But I always make it a point that, boss, we should go through this, all right. So some points were supposed to be written from there also. Okay. So over here, if there is no legal compulsion, and if there is no requirement to report, all right, then the auditor shouldn't have reported. That is one point. I think if some students have overthought on this point, then in that case, they could have also gone to the point of unjustified removal of auditor. So if auditor feels that his removal is unjustified, then he's supposed to, write an application to the ethical standard board. If you have covered that point and if that is printed in the suggested answer, then it is fine, then okay. I mean, if you get that point and if that 1 mark is there, then it's okay. But it is, to go to that level, I don't think that was required in the answer. But if you have gone to that level, I can understand your application of knowledge, all right? And I do respect it. Okay. Now, question number 4A. That was essay 540, I told you. Then question 4B was a copy-paste question. Many a time students पूछते हैं, sir, हमारा छोटा-छोटा chapters हुआ नहीं है. मैं बोलता हूँ module question करके जाओ यार. All right. And that was a copy-paste question of audit of NBFC. All right. The differences between the format, the final accounts format of NBFC. All right. And then the final accounts format, which is normally applicable to all other companies. What are the point of differences? There are 3 to 4 points of differences. It is always marked as important by me. It is always also marked as important by the module. Okay. Then there was one good question 4C, which I always take it up in my quality review discussion. So boss, if quality review wants to conduct, if quality review board wants to conduct quality review of an audit firm, but if that audit firm is auditing the companies which are covered by NFRA jurisdiction, then in that case, quality review may select that audit firm, but it cannot conduct quality review of the files, which are subject to NFRA investigation. So if you see that over here, auditor is auditing some entities, all right, which are covered by NFRA jurisdiction. So this auditor can be selected by quality review board, but quality review board cannot touch these files of the companies which are getting covered by NFRA jurisdiction. All right. So this is one point. Achha, if NFRA has referred the investigation of these auditors to quality review board, then in that case, quality review board can take it up. So this is a good detailed discussion that you're supposed to do, where NFRA will come into picture. Then you have to say that quality review board cannot touch these audits. All right. So yes, quality review board can select the firm, but cannot touch these files unless it is referred by NFRA. All right. Which files? The files of the companies which are covered by NFRA jurisdiction. There are some companies which are not covered by NFRA jurisdiction. And in that case, quality review board can very well touch these files, not a problem at all. Okay. So that is one point, which I always discuss in my quality review discussion also. So question number 5A, कभी कभी क्या होता है, छोटे छोटे चैप्टर्स हम लोग करके नहीं जाते और उसमें से ऐसा कॉपी पेस्ट पॉइंट आ जाता है. So it was a very simple theory point from management audit. Steps involved in preparing the management audit report. All right. In my book, management audit, we have it in point number 8. All right. And in ICA module, you have it on 15.29. Steps involved in preparing drafting management audit report. All right. It's a very simple theory question. Just look at the last line. You have to start vomiting. I don't like such kind of questions, but we have to do it. It's always discussed in my class. All right. Normally, students don't focus on these chapters, but then we try to do our job always. All right. Then question number 5B. I think many students would have scored good marks over here because it was from peer review and it was expected. Peer review ka scope. We know that in the scope of peer review, audit and assurance services are covered. All types of consultancy and all other engagements are not covered in peer review scope. All right. So that was one point which was supposed to be explained over here. All right. Okay. Next, yes, it was from tax audit. Okay. So I've given these references. Then next was from tax audit. Tax audit, many students would have written clause 17, clause 29. All of that is fine. All right. Okay, you may get correct, incorrect over there. You may have written a little bit language here and there. All of that is fine. But the main concept that you are supposed to highlight is that over here, when we compare the consideration and stamp duty value, there is a difference. All right. So the consideration of the property that is sold is lesser than the stamp duty value. All right. And even if you see that for how much the difference is even more than 10% over here. All right. So all of those discussions that you are supposed to do. Okay. Even, for some period, the haircut of 20% was allowed. All right. But it was sort of a very, very limited period. But even if you take that 20% haircut, all right, still 58 lakhs, 74 lakhs, all right, that difference is over there. All right, you have to make some calculations and come to the answer. If you see my tax audit video, all right, you will get it. In this particular video, I'm not solving every single question answer. This video is intended to keep it very short. Later on, I'll come out with detailed analysis of every single answer what you're supposed to do. But let us say अगर आपने concept explain किया है, then in that case आपका 2 marks तो fix हो गया, 2 to 3 marks, all right, 2 marks out of 4. And then if you have got it accurate, it will take you to 4 marks, all right. But I hope that students would have at least tried doing this, because even in my tax audit video, I said that this particular point is very, very important. All right. Now over here, next question number 5C done. Question number 6A. Yeah, no CLAR was expected. No CLAR was expected. Professional ethics amendment tha, and it was expected. And it was long due tha. That no CLAR mein here, if you see CA Rahul is, yeah, Director Finance, and this is a listed entity. So boss, he's a senior employee over there. And in that case, obviously, he has to go, no CLAR provisions are applicable to him. And what are the steps to be taken by him? There is one in my professional ethics amendment video. If you look at the 25th minute or so, all right, I'm showing you one chart from the module, and those points were supposed to be written over there. All right. So it was RTP content. I hope that you would have gone through this. All right. Then unfortunately, many students did not go through the RTP video also completely or professional ethics amendment video also completely. And then obviously that category of students would have suffered. Otherwise, it was a very clear-cut expected question. No color was expected this time. Then question number 6B was from automated environment. In my book, you will find it in my automated environment chapter as point number 11. And in module, you'll find it at 4.19. All right, so you were supposed to write a little bit about the various frameworks which are governing the automated environment, which are internationally accepted. All right. And then question number 60, one question was from investigation, which was, even if you have done module question practice, you can easily write it. Even if you have not done any practice, still also you're in a good position to write. All right. Insurance, audit of insurance also, let us say insurance का पूरा chapter नहीं किया आपने, मेरा revision video देख लेते, खाली module question कर लेते. Then also, question number 11 of the module was over there. In fact, in my book also it is question number 11. All right. So this is the analysis. Yes, I have not discussed every single answer, every single line over there. If there is any confusion, you can get in touch with me. All right. But I will come out with a proper printed suggested answer list also for this. All right. Just stay in touch with me. This was a short video intended to ensure that was आपको सब पता चल जाए कि क्या था कैसे था. All right. Now let me tell you, if your May 23 students, even if your 5-6 questions went good, because some questions were copy paste from module questions, some questions were copy paste from some basic discussions that we do, then in that case, you are still in the game. Don't worry about it. And for all other attempt students, further attempt students, this is a little bit more wake up call, which IC had given in July 21. But then in December 21, May 22, November 22, थोड़ा वो लोग relax हो गए थे, तो अब बच्चे भी relax हो गए थे. This is a wake up call for further attempt students also to understand, all right, that what they are supposed to do over here. All right. So I hope that this video was helpful. And please, if you are just adopting some shortcuts in audit, then please don't do that. All right. All the very best. I am with you. You are doing good. You are in CA final. You are trying to help your family. Always, always keep this thought behind your mind. All right. And never think negative. All right. You are doing good. You are doing great. All the best.